Coming up on Mountain News this morning, police say a kindergartner discovered a gun and some mulch at an elementary school in Ashland.
And state and local education leaders met to discuss recent improvements aimed at keeping Kentucky students safe in the classroom.
Plus, the bones found Sunday in Perry County are bringing people missing across the region back into the spotlight.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. The time is 5:30 on November 20th. I'm Madison Pergram.
And I'm Will Puckett. Thank you for tuning in to Mountain
You
News
forgot
this
how to
morning.
do this. It's been so long.
I forgot how this whole thing works. You're right.
Well, okay, so it's been a little chilly, but it's getting a little warmer, but there was rain. We were talking about it earlier on the windshield this morning.
Yes.
Let's go to Brandon. Brandon, are we going to see more rain coming up in the future?
In the future, yes. I think we'll start to wrap up today, but we'll remember, she talks first and then you go. That's how this works when you know, and then you toss to me.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. We'll give you a pass. It's been, almost 3 weeks since we've all been together? Yeah. All right, so let's take a look at what's going on across the region. Live pinpoint Doppler radar. You see those specks of green still showing up. So a stray shower or maybe some drizzle out there this morning. So just give yourself some time. Also foggy in most areas. We're seeing limited visibility across the area, so just give yourself plenty of time to get around this morning. But Madison's right. It is warmer this morning. 41 Wise, 42 Hazard, Pikeville, 44 Prestonsburg, bless you, Will, 43 in London and Williamsburg, and 45 in Jacksboro. Your weather app forecast, if you didn't have that yesterday, you need to have it now because, as you saw, we give you little tidbits on there like the winter weather outlook sneak peek yesterday. But you'll see today we're tracking mostly to partly cloudy skies and temperatures right around 50 depending on how fast those clouds clear. I'll talk about the extended forecast coming up here in just a little bit. Will?
All righty, Brandon. Thank you, sir. Well, Tuesday morning in Frankfort, state and local education leaders met to discuss recent improvements that are aimed at keeping Kentucky students safe.
Krista Frost shares how this collective effort will lead to safer schools for years to come.
The School Safety and Resiliency Act, or more commonly referred to as Senate Bill 1. Most of us know it. Its goal is to enhance school safety across the state so we could be prepared in any situation.
I went to Marshall County High School in Western Kentucky, so we were really close to the Heath incident when that happened back in the 90s.
So this teacher knows too well how important it is for students to be safe while they just try to get ahead in the world.
It's hard to think about the things our students must feel and think when we do lockdown drills and when they see so many stories in the news like California last week. And so it is a scary time.
That's why lawmakers and community members met today to talk about the changes which will come to schools in the state in the coming years. Changes including making security upgrades to school buildings, something that's estimated to cost the state at least $18 million, hiring school resource officers more than $71 million, and also hiring counselors for students roughly $140 million. Numbers shared at a subcommittee meeting discussing safety in this bill moving forward. While the specifics are still being worked out, some of these teachers say they know what it's like to have a student, a loved one, so close to this danger.
My little nephew was there when the shooting took place last year, and it was an awful, awful day. I was trying to get a hold of him that morning, finally got a hold of him, he was safe.
Krista Frost, WYMT Mountain News.
Subcommittee members also heard from school leaders about providing staff training, creating a way to have trauma resources available to students, and the need for long-term commitment from lawmakers.
Well, police say a kindergartner discovered a gun in an elementary school playground in Ashland during recess Monday. The principal at Pogue Elementary in Ashland says that during recess, a kindergartner saw a gun sticking out of some mulch on the playground. That child told the teacher and kids were sent off the playground back into the school, and they called Ashland police.
This could have went a whole other way. And we do a good job here at Pogue about if you see something and you're not sure what it is, don't touch it. Alert an adult immediately. And it's nice to see today that protocol was in place.
We reported Sunday night on a shooting close by, which is still being investigated. Police have not said whether they believe the gun that was found on the playground may be connected to that case. They have also not disclosed whether the gun was loaded or not.
And meanwhile, a Pulaski County man is facing charges after police say his 5-year-old son with autism showed up to school with bruises. Somerset police arrested Gideon Wesley on Monday, and according to his arrest citation, the child knocked a gun rack off the wall and the child would not get up when Wesley asked him to. Wesley then pulled him up by the neck of his shirt and dragged him down the hallway. The child has bruises on his face, neck, and ears. Wesley is charged with criminal abuse.
Now in Pulaski County, where 3 people were arrested after police say they were dealing drugs with children in their home. Casey Foster, Terry Eden, and Amber Cole were arrested after police investigated a home off Kentucky 80 west of Somerset. Officers say they found bags of heroin and other drug-related items in the home. They say there were also several guns, including one with the serial number scratched off. A 4-year-old and a 10-year-old were also in the house. Their toys were found near the drugs.
And yesterday also saw a delay in a Leslie County trial. Gavin Wells faces a manslaughter charge, and police say in 2014 he shot and killed Christopher Sizemore. A hearing is set for December 4th to discuss a new trial date.
We now know what led to another delay in a Perry County murder trial. Defense attorneys for James McIntosh tell us they filed a motion to move the trial to Knott County. The trial is now set to begin in January in Hindman. McIntosh is accused of shooting Danny Mullins multiple times in February. Failure to seat a jury resulted in a mistrial last month in Perry County. Initially, the trial was reset for Breathitt County and scheduled to begin 2 days ago.
And the bones found Sunday in Perry County bring people missing across the region back into the spotlight. On May 7, 2015, Natasha Fugit went missing from her home in Knott County. More than 4 years later, there is still no sign of Fugit. Now that more remains have been found, her grandmother holds out hope they aren't her granddaughters.
But I hope and pray it's not her. As long as you don't know, you've got faith that she will show up sometime or other. But if you know that's her, then you know it's over with. You can put it to rest.
There is still a $15,000 reward out for information on where Fugit may be or what happened to her.
Well, troopers found a body at a home yesterday afternoon in Harlan County. Troopers were called to a possible fight at a home in the Everts community. When they got to the home, they found no evidence of any fight. Instead, they found a man dead on the front porch.
Speaking with family members and neighbors of the area, they advised that the subject that's deceased possibly had several health issues.
In relation to those health issues, troopers at the scene said the coroner believes his death was due to natural causes.
And a Laurel County man admitted to causing a deadly crash that killed his mother. Chris Francis pleaded guilty to multiple charges, including second-degree manslaughter. Francis was driving on the wrong side of the road when he hit another car head-on. Police say blood work showed he was high on meth at the time of the crash. Francis's mother, Holly Francis, was a passenger in his car. She died of her injuries. The other driver and 2 young children were also injured. Sentencing for Francis is scheduled for Monday. And a new bill aimed at improving the treatment of officials at school supporting sporting events. The proposed law is called the Good Sports Bill.
It would make intimidating officials a misdemeanor and assaulting one a felony. WYMT's Emily Bennett talked to a local sports official about how he feels about the idea.
In the spring, a Kentucky high school sports referee was punched by a coach just after the final buzzer.
I do remember the last shot. Then I got punched out, knocked out. I was out for a couple minutes.
Kenny Culp suffered a broken collarbone, brain bleed, and broken sinus cavity.
No idea. I'd like to ask him this one day, face to face. Why did you hit me?
That punch got the ball rolling in this bill. It calls for intimidation of a referee to be a Class A misdemeanor and an actual physical assault automatically charged as a Class D felony.
It brings a black eye to youth sports, and that's not what youth athletics is about at all.
Kyle Maggart has been a sports official for more than 18 years.
So you deal with a lot, depending on the stakes of the game. I feel like, just the level that you're going to get berated.
He has dealt with many angry parents and coaches, and the hateful words continue even off the court.
I've been messaged via social media with unkind words.
With refs being mistreated, the number of officials has dropped.
180 to 200 something, somewhere in that range that we have lost from last season. People that's not decided that they didn't want to do it anymore.
But for some, like Culp, even assault will not stop him from putting on the whistle.
Rather die on the court than not do it. I love the game so much.
Hoping this will bring respect for officials. In Hazard, Emily Bennett, WYMT Mountain News.
The bill has been pre-filed for consideration in the upcoming 2020 session at the state capitol.
And the outside of the Rogers Park Baptist Church may look grim. However, hopeful owners had big plans for the inside. Those plans were stopped when vandals broke in and caused thousands of dollars worth of damage on the inside. There are curse words painted on the walls, the piano destroyed, and a few pews thrown into the baptistry. Robert and Tina Fletcher says they were heartbroken when they saw the damage.
All the pews are turned over completely. The walls are defaced. Whoever's done it has made a huge mistake. And that's on their soul, between them and God.
Troopers with Kentucky State Police Post 9 are investigating. If you have any information, you can call 606-433-7711, and tips can remain anonymous.
Dollywood announced children born in 2015 or 2016 can now visit Dollywood for free all season long. We'll tell you how.
While we should get a little break from the rain starting later this morning, it will be short-lived. I'll track out our next system in about 3 minutes.